Storm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. We're currently in a car because I'm Trevor Scott and driving us is Ben Slinger.
Hello. I'll be your driver today.
So we're going to try this. It may work, it may not. We don't have a great word generator because I forgot to set it up on my PC before we left. We're going away for the weekend, and we thought, fuck it, let's just do it. We need to get a podcast done sometime this weekend.
So it's our usual night for doing a podcast. We're in the car together for a couple of hours anyway, so why not?
Fuck it.
Here we go.
Let's record this thing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a single word and we'll see what the fuck happens with it. It'll be a game design. It'll be interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
So here we go.
3, 2, 1, click.
3, 2, 1, click. Our word is fortune.
Fortune. I mean, I immediately went to like a fortune-telling box at a fair, like big style. What's Zoltar?
Yeah. Okay. Fortune teller. I like that.
Is it from the perspective of the psychic in the box? You see people come and put the money in.
I don't know. I can definitely see this as like a sort of like an adventure game. You're playing a kid, kind of like Big, but more set in the actual fairground. Maybe your mum and dad are part of the carnival scene, that sort of stuff. And recently, as you're going along, this new fortune teller machine is being brought out of storage, or an old fortune teller machine, which makes it even better, comes out of storage. And, you know, you think, I've seen Big, I'll check this out.
We reference it.
Yeah, I think it's worth referencing it. You're not going to Zoltar or anything like that, but it's like kind of a mystical sort of thing still. But I know you could do a lot, but you remain as a kid throughout the whole thing.
Okay, so it's not actually going big, and there's no kids kissing 30-plus-year-old women.
No.
But
it's troublesome in other ways. There's a panty raid.
We have that something problematic in there.
Exactly.
You know,
it feels like an 80s movie.
Getting into trouble.
It's an 80s adventure game, so it's going to have something problematic in there.
Okay, I do like doing it as an adventure game. You could almost have, the fortune teller is like what kicks off the story, or the main adventure. Even having it just be like the fortune is something completely innocuous or just like vague, as they so often are.
Yeah, but then this comes true.
This kid reads a certain thing into it, takes it as true, and then takes that as they have to follow this. Like, I'm thinking that there's nothing actually mystical even happening. It's all in this kid's head. But he sets himself off on this adventure because of what he reads into
that first day.
And
I think it's one fortune per day.
Right. Maybe that's the only mystical thing, is you don't know how it knows. It'll just return your coins if you try to get a second fortune that day.
I really like this already.
But the fortunes themselves are not very specific. They come across as very vague, like a horoscope or like these things would do, and it's really the kid trying to make them come true subconsciously, almost like just reading this into them.
So the way I see it is the first one, they're not reading into it at all, and then something that they innocuously said when they've got it is like, what's this got to do with like someone falling off a trapeze or something like that, and then that happens that night.
So they kind of accidentally predict something that happens themselves, and so based on that.
Yeah. And it's like, then you know, the next day when they get the next one, it's like, the way they read into it is like, oh, this sounds like something's going to happen to my sister or something like that, and then they're trying to.
But I like the idea of them almost cold reading themselves. Like when they get it wrong, they're just like, oh, well, it must have meant this instead. Like,
exactly.
You know, it said S, and I thought that would be sister, but it actually meant, you know, Sally, the juggler,
Yeah.
So definitely something's going to happen with her. But I kind of like this. Yeah, I just like this kid basically tricking himself into then being helpful and doing like saving people, essentially, like becoming almost this vigilante.
I like the idea that, you know, they're kind of like a Dennis the Menace sort of character at the start, like causing trouble.
Yeah.
And then,
especially around this fairground, like everyone, or this carnival, whatever, like all the crew hates him because he's just getting in the way. He's this annoying little kid. And then, this he basically sets himself straight via these vague predictions.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's really cool. Do we want to go further, or are we happy with that?
I think we can. I think we've got a game there. I think we can see where that would lead.
Sure. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah.
Bite.
Bite with an I or a Y?
B-I-T-E.
I mean, that's a very vague one. I feel like that's the sort of prompt you get in a game jam to really allow for all sorts of ideas. So
yeah, I'm getting a real like vampire-y sort of feeling.
Okay.
I like the idea of vampires. Now, is this a first-person game where you're a vampire stalking people, or is it a game where you're being stalked by vampires?
So I like the idea of being a vampire. Something that really grabs me that I feel like they could do better. Like, I want to be hidden in the shadows and know when I'm hidden, and like really make use of the darkness as a vampire. That and turn into a bat.
Okay,
like
so you have to be able to turn into a bat, and of course, you know, like what we do in the shadows, you have to say bat as you turn into.
Just say bat. That's how we actually use the microphone. That's how you have to trigger it. It's not necessarily even that your in-game character will say it, but you as the player have to say bat to turn into a bat. I kind of like that idea. I wonder even if you could do. I feel like there's a potential multiplayer thing there with a mechanic where, if you're in shadow, your character literally is more like less able to be seen.
Yeah,
like they're invisible on other people's screens, except for maybe, I don't know, the glare of the light on their teeth or something, or their eyes or whatever. To really have that bit of have that feeling of, you know, maybe an asymmetrical multiplayer sort of thing, almost a bit like what was that game that we played a little bit of that was sort of super scary? You like come down to the ship and explore. Anyway, it was one of those popular kind of co-op online games for a little bit.
I don't quite
like
remember.
once. But that sort of thing. So asymmetrical. One person is the vampire, and everyone else is kind of trying to hunt it. But it's like creepy. It's scary because any dark corner.
Kind of like we played Predator for a while.
Yeah, that had some interesting aspects too. But like, obviously, this is either, you know, dark Victorian streets or going through, you know, warehouses and stuff or something where this thing, and you're getting the flutter of their cape as they, you know, move around in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see it as a multiplayer thing, and I think we'll go down that one first, and then I'd like to pitch my version of it as well. So let's go down the multiplayer version a little bit further.
Yeah.
So, can the vampire ensnare you in a thrall? Like,
ooh, I mean, that could be interesting for mechanically, how would that work? Like, if you can lure their friends over, I wonder if you could bring in some voice stuff like, what was that paranormal one? The investigation one with the ghosts that I think it used your voice and stuff. Anyway, I keep forgetting the names of games, but if the game has captured part of your voice, that you could play it back when they're under your thrall to try to attract other people to come to you. It may even be that before you start the game, everyone has to record certain phrases right? For use when you are under thrall.
Even if it is just that when you're under thrall, like you've got like a communication thing, you hold down T and then you can choose from the wheel.
Right.
And when you're under thrall, you don't control that anymore. The vampire only controls
I guess if you're not doing voice, or maybe it cuts off their voice, like
a peak sort of thing.
But they can still use the wheel, and so you can like ping a spot, you can point out, you can maybe fake it, you can like, oh, there's ammo here, but there's not actually anything there, and then you sneak out from behind them. Yeah.
Holy water. And you go in there. What I do like is you would then know if their voice is cut off, they're under the thrall. You'd have to actually do it kind of like...
I guess so. I guess unless there are situations where you don't, like, where you not want to be talking anyway, like, and only using those communications, like that you don't want to attract attention.
You don't want to attract the vampire, and therefore it's like...
So it's like, is it just that they're being quiet because they don't want to give away their position, or are they under the thrall?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
The fact that the vampire then controls that particular aspect
I
of
very
it.
much like that idea. And I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you just do it that there's no voice and everything's through that, and so it's much easier to give the vampire control. But that is a fun mechanic to play with for sure.
Yeah, especially because going through Discord or something like that is going to break it.
Of course, yeah.
No, I like that as a multiplayer thing.
Right, give me your pitch.
So my pitch is more around sort of a first-person. I don't know. It's kind of like a survival game, but you're a vampire, and of course during the day and that sort of stuff, you can enthrall one person.
Oh, okay.
To basically be your
familiar.
Your familiar, and so they go out and get people for you and that sort of stuff.
Yep. So you're sort of playing them during the day then, and then when nightfall comes, you wake up as the vampire in your coffin. Yeah,
so maybe you play only as the familiar, or maybe you play as the vampire.
Oh, I see, okay.
Either one is kind of cool, and I like both.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a multiplayer game. I think it's more of a...
Yeah, more of like a Subnautica or something.
But the idea of playing a familiar...
I do like that idea. Well, kind
of like a Renfield, from... That movie was really great.
Or whatever in What You Do in the Shadows. I can't remember his name.
Guillermo.
Yeah, Guillermo. Yes, I do like that. I think I'm trying to decide if I like the idea better that you then play the vampire at night, or if it's better to just that you're essentially affecting. If you've built, you've covered all the windows or whatever in the grand mansion that they've taken place in. So it's like, okay, you can use these rooms now during the day.
And now you got some visceral cleanup detail when you've got to clean all the blood off the walls and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like
because they got hungry and went ape shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. I do like that idea of playing the familiar to a vampire.
I don't think we've ever seen something like that, so that feels better now to me. That I'd like to play a familiar, and the whole idea is keeping your vampire alive, keeping them fed. You've got to try and come up with ways of, helping them get victims. But of course, you can choose. Do you go down the path of trying to just get the worst of the worst? Or do you, and therefore you've got to put yourself in more danger? Or do you go for those helpless victims and you're going, a real dark side of, like...
Yeah, that's it. What will you do? Like, what of your morals will you...
And that determines the type of vampire that you're effectively raising then.
Yeah.
Because... if they get more virginal blood, they're only going to accept virginal blood now. And you're now making it harder and harder. And I think the idea of going through different times as well, kind of like how Renfield, it was Victorian era, and then you can sort of show now they've moved to London, now they've moved to
right. So is the vampire keeping
and,
them alive then?
Yeah, like Renfield, where you eat a bug and you gain some powers of your own.
That's right.
I don't know. I think that would be a really good, fun game where you get a little bit of powers, and the more, the morality that you sort of take, a la your, what was that superhero game on the PS3?
Oh yeah, in Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous. Along those lines of the powers that you get are more along, if you've gone down the dark side of virginal blood, you get different set of powers compared to the other side where, you're more of a vigilante sort of thing.
I do very much like the flow as well of getting new powers every now and then, like that you've done. Okay, you've done well enough. Now this vampire deems to give you, a minor thrall or something that you can, do to help bring people in, or like the ability to heal yourself.
And you got sort of, I'm thinking scripted missions, a la your Dishonoured or something like that you're going off and it's like, but you can sort of choose in those sort of levels, a la your Hitman sort of thing of this sort of thing's happening. If you're going for this sort of person, you've got to be able to capture them and take them back.
Like a bit of an ImSim kind of thing of, okay, you've sort of just got a level laid out in front of you, a bunch of different ways you can approach it, a bunch of different groups of people. Like you've got...
You're stalking different
you've
groups.
Got like your murderers down in the alley that you're going to, you might have to fight off to bring them in somehow, or if you've got a thrall that you can get them under, but you have to get them alone.
Yeah.
Or over here, you've got the sorority out on a drinking night and they're all drunk and you choose to take the innocent victims that are more helpless.
But of course, what that does in world building is, depends on what the police are out looking for. They're looking for a serial killer who's now targeting.
And then that can be based on your previous your previous.
Then you've got a vampire hunter that's going out hunting because of, the bodies where you've left them and all that sort of stuff.
That's it. Yeah, I like that idea of like, like in Dishonored, where you can get through it as a ghost or whatever, like not being seen at all. If you get through these without being seen or without a body being caught, whatever,
they don't have
you're not going to get vampire hunters. Like obviously,
but there may be
cops around because like they know people are missing, but they don't know what's happened. But if you're spotted here and there, if they see you in the pub, if they see different things, you leave a witness. Then okay, it's going to get around that this is something supernatural. The vampire hunters are going to come in. Yeah, you've got these more difficult enemies then.
So what I like about going through the different eras as well is you could take this into far future with like a dystopic sort of cyberpunky sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then you're going through the same sort of thing again. You've gone through the story of each sort of era. And now on top of like the powers that you're getting, you also get augments and those sort of things. And you're almost making, a Deus Ex or something along those lines. Now the vampire can come out with you in the daytime because he's got this anti-UV coating, that sunscreen thing that you can put on, and it coats the skin with nanites that reflect whatever. You can come up with stupid future stuff. But there's so much room there to tell a story that can go multitude of different ways, and that brings back the replayability because it's like, oh, this time you didn't get caught, so therefore, how does this ending go?
For sure.
The ghost ending. You got the
that's it. The different challenges,
killer, the vampire, like
there's endings for, or at least like achievements and stuff for taking every innocent victim from every level. Completely overkill, stocking up.
Yeah,
you get the stocked up for winter achievement or something. Just a basement full of bodies.
Squirrel cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love
really
that.
Funny.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we took a word that we weren't happy about and turned it into the two fun games.
I mean, bite is that is a broad word, so it's we went in a good direction.
Orange.
So it's a rhyming game. Orange. I mean, what's orange? Which is like traffic stuff.
So
high vis.
We know that, red is to anger and green is to envy.
Okay.
And what's orange to?
It's anxiety, if you believe Inside Out 2.
Yep. Okay, something along the words anxiety. Like, have we really seen, anxiety-inducing video game?
I mean, anxiety-inducing, yeah. I feel like a lot of those horror games that are out at the moment with, like, figure out what's haunted in the room or whatever are kind of trying for that anxiety sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what gives anxiety in a game? I think, like, time limits, obviously.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, jump scares, not knowing when something's going to pop out at you. Tight combat, where you're going to be on a knife's edge of health.
I mean, we haven't mentioned it here yet, but we have both been playing Silk Soul.
Yes.
There are a lot of anxiety-inducing moments in that when you're playing a boss and you've got 1 health left and you just
managed to pull off a
silk spear, and then you've hit the boss a couple of times and you've just got
enough silk to heal,
heal,
yep.
Or it's that risk reward. Yeah, I like this. I think you're looking at like a 2D platformer. Time is tight.
Yeah, I mean, even like a Bennett Foddy style thing, right? There's a lot of anxiety there, where it's like, if I fall here, if I mess up this jump, I'm going to have to redo half the level or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I feel that gives a lot more anxiety than a like Super Meat Boy style thing, where it's just like, oh, well, I just try this level over again as many times as you want. Like, even though that's really precision platforming, it's not as anxiety inducing. So yeah, what's an orange based rage game idea? I mean, we just took anxiety from Orange. It doesn't have to actually use that, but we could.
But again, it's just a jumping off point, and that's why I thought it's kind of fun to take it this way.
Fire is orange.
Fire is orange.
You could do a rage game around spreading or putting out fire.
Yep. And of course, if you're not controlling it, it's just now spread. All the work that you've done is basically...
That's it, like having to go to the different sort of front of the fire to...
make a fire break and...
Yeah, and it's like, well, okay, it's going to burn through this fire break in a certain amount of time, so I've got time to go to the other side and, like, work on that for a bit, but if you don't get back in time, then...
It's a rage game because you were the only one... everyone else has gone away for this weekend, leaving you the only volunteer for the CFA,
yeah,
or whatever it is in this game, and it's going to take 3 hours for the for the next team to come in, or whatever time it is. It doesn't have to be time. It's like they're coming in, but you've got to keep the fire under control, otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be about, to get that rage game aspect of it, where to finish it, I think you need to put out the whole fire. But the balance of that is so difficult that it's very, very easy to, if you slip up over here and let it go too long, then all that fuel catches and the fire's just back to where it started, essentially.
Yeah.
Or has travelled further in a direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff there.
Yeah, I do like the idea of a rage-inducing fire game. Are we seeing sort of top-down? Are we seeing...
So, again, like, it is interesting, because you said 2D platformer, and often those rage games are around 2D platforms. It could be interesting to see fire in a 2D-ish way, where it's like, it's building up over here enough. Like, if you don't get it down enough, it's going to catch the platformer above on fire or something. Or, so you've sort of got that.
I can also see it working as Zelda-like.
Yeah, and then you could do sort of an isometric-ish view that might be better to give you a better idea of how the spread works.
How much scale there is.
Be able to like zoom all the way out or something and see the spread. I definitely like the idea of being able to zoom out and just getting this sense of like, there's no way I can get this under control. But when you actually look at it, and once you sort of get good at the game, it's like, oh no, actually, like I've got 30 seconds before it burns through there. I've got a minute before it burns through over here. I need to focus on this part right away, and then I need to get there in 30 seconds, and I need to get that. You sort of start to get a sense for how you're going to be able to flow through this and get it smaller. And you can have moments like in those rage games where, okay, I'm safe for the moment. You know, you've got it under control, and then when you choose to move on, okay, now the risk starts again. And so that might just be that, if I start attacking this next front of the fire, then it might blow out somewhere else. Or, that would take a lot of tweaking of mechanics to really get that working well. But I can see the sort of general idea of it.
I can too. Okay, I think we click again.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to come out of orange.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Ooh, fling.
Fling.
Yeah.
Ooh. Do you know what I thought of? Do you remember that fucking PS3 game Pain?
Yes.
It's so stupid, but I remember.
I mean, my mind immediately went to Angry Birds, and then
right, yeah, which is obviously a similar sort of vibe of just.
So yeah, there was a PS3 game called Pain that you basically throw your character into a 3D scene, and it's how much
damage as you can.
Do as much damage to your body and the environment as you can.
Yes.
The more bones that you break, the more shit that you break, the higher your score.
Yeah.
It was a fun kind of game.
I mean, it was a fun little diversion. It didn't have a lot of depth to it.
No.
It reminded me of like Burnout Crash mode as well, in a sense. Which also has...
God, I haven't thought about Burnout and Crash mode for a long freaking time. They were good. That was good. So I wonder if there's something there around. What's something that you could... It's like just a quick round-based game, essentially. Yeah.
Because one of the best things about Burnout Crash mode was, you passing the controller around and each trying to get a higher score or whatever. And same thing with Pain and stuff. Is there somewhere else we could take that where it's about just like flinging something, trying to get the best you can?
All the things that you've talked about, but in space.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I could see elements of that. Flinging yourself off. Fling could also come in there with like slingshot maneuvers, gravity maneuvers around astronomical bodies.
Yeah. It's that third dimension that literally, because there's no gravity and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Or there's limited gravity because it's like, does it get caught in the planet's gravity or something like that?
That's it. I wonder if it's that you lose when you're essentially like too far away from any gravitational body that you'll ever get pulled back in. And so it's sort of about keeping yourself going by slingshotting around these planets and sort of thrusting at the right point to break that gravitational pull, but in a way that's going to get you to another body. Because the timing of that then is sort of really key. And then obviously having potentially some obstacles and things to collect or things to break through, or I could see that being interesting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Are you thinking you're like a ship then, or are you still like you're literally a person?
I like the idea of the ship.
Yeah, okay.
Like different ships kind of doing it, a la your Burnout Crash, but it's like you've got, whether it's a wrecking yard or something like that, it's kind of similar to that other game that, where you got to dismantle things. I can't remember what it was called.
Hard Space.
Yeah. But Hard Space Shipwrecker, yep. Yeah. But you're just like, you're breaking shit in the least
the most efficient way or something, or the...
It's not even the most efficient way, but it's like... It's the least amount of work for yourself.
Right.
You don't care how it looks at the end. It's all scrap.
Yeah.
You just got to break it down.
Almost a 3D pinball in a way then of, okay, you've got certain parts along the wall that will fling you out into this junkyard.
Yeah.
But once you've flung out, you've sort of got somewhat limited maneuverability.
Because...
until you hit the wall on the other side, which might be a kilometre away. But as you go through, you're smashing through these things, which then, you might bounce off in a particular direction.
You may glance off if you're not hitting it dead on.
Yeah.
You're going to glance off, and then you're not going where you wanted to, so you've got to sort of use your manoeuvring thrusters.
Well, that's it. Or it could be, because Burnout had the aftertouch where once you'd crash, you sort of could move your car in midair somewhere. I wonder if it's a bit of you can grab onto a piece of wreckage, fire it off towards the furnace or whatever they had it, but then that gives you an opposite thrust, and so you could, if you do it well, you could kind of bounce from piece to piece, taking them getting a higher score for getting them into the furnace. But it's very much around this continuous motion and utilizing physics to get yourself around.
And you know what? I've really, really enjoyed this.
This is fun.
I think we'll call it there, though.
Yeah.
So that's basically it for this week's.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you want to find our previous episodes online, go to bitstormcast.com or anywhere else that you find the fine podcasts online.
If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance, off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. You can find it at kuradust.bandcamp.com.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And Trev.
Yeah?
Are we there yet?